Hey guys, it's Adam here, I Can't See the Guy. Welcome to another review on a whole new different horror franchise. Now, the reason why I'm reviewing this particular franchise is because I was looking at some films that were panned by critics in 1997, and there was one film that came along which, where's the information? That was panned by critics and on Rotten Tomatoes has an approval rating of 23% based on 30 reviews, with an average rating of 3.5 out of 10. And it was considered terrible effects and worse acting. And it was on a movie that I don't agree with. And I own this movie on a 4-movie Blu-ray set. And it's the first Wishmaster movie that came out in the year of 1997. First, I'm going to show you the set I've got. I had to get this abroad because I love the Wishmaster movies, well, at least some of them. And it's this Blu-ray set right here. This is not available in the UK yet. At least I don't think so, anyway. As soon as I saw this on Blu-ray available in a different region, I got it, but I've got a multi-region Blu-ray player. So it plays all sorts of Blu-rays from different regions. The set itself, I wish I could have done a better job, you know. Yes, it's got Andrew Divoff on the front, with half his face human, half face as the Djinn. But when you look inside, it's just vertically the same. I wish it could have been something special, like a steel book. But when you look inside, it contains the 4 Wishmaster movies. See? So yeah, the movie I want to talk about is the first Wishmaster movie that came out in the year of 1997. Like I say, got panned by critics. It was given 3.5 out of 10. Considered terrible effects and worse acting. And I don't agree. We're all different, I guess. I keep repeating that in all my reviews, but really, is this movie this bad? You know? Because I thought, for one, the acting was great, especially Andrew Divoff's performance as the Djinn. You know, you got loads of top actors in this movie. You got Andrew Divoff, who plays the Djinn, you know, the leading villain. Robert Englund plays a role in this, aka Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. He plays that guy who owns that statue museum. You get Tony Todd, aka Candyman from the Candyman films, who plays a bodyguard at Robert Englund's party. You also get Kane Hodder playing a small role in this, aka Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th movies and the Hatchet movies as Victor Crowley, playing a bodyguard in this, this building, which Andrew Divoff visits. So cast-wise, you've got a good cast, and there's many more I haven't mentioned that some people may be familiar with, but sorry if I don't mention them all. And I thought every actor did a fine job in their role. However, I will admit one thing. The actress who plays Alexandra Amberson, Tammy Lauren, I admit, now her acting in this movie was fine, but I wouldn't say she's up there with Heather Langenkamp, who played Nancy in Nightmare on Elm Street. She's not up there with Virginia Madsen, who played Helen Lyle in Candyman. She's not up there with many of these heroes that defeats all these villains. I take my hat off to that. She's not as good as those, but she was satisfying. I didn't hate her role in this movie. I thought she was a beautiful actress. She had the looks. And her acting was fine in this movie. It was fine. But I admit it was the weak part of the movie. Her. The leading role. The girl that defeats the villain. Because it's usually the females that defeats the villain. It was a female that defeated Freddy Krueger. It was a female that defeated, Candyman. Females that defeated Jason Voorhees, mostly in Friday the 13th. Mainly females, basically. And you got a female defeating the Djinn in this particular movie. But she was fine. Got no arguments with her, although I admit it was the weakest part of the movie. I have to admit, she was not there with the others, but it was satisfying. She wasn't annoying or anything like that. But what I like about this movie, Wishmaster, the first one in 1997, I thought it was very creative. So I disagree with all these people who keep on saying it was lame in several departments of being creative and effects and acting wise. I mean, I've just discussed the acting wise, but effect wise, look at the great effects that you had in this movie. And don't forget, this came out in the year 1997. You've got the effects of people being ripped to pieces. It's like in the opening movie, you know, the opening scene where that guy falls on the ground and that skeleton rips out his flesh, and you've got a screaming skeleton screaming around the place. You've got like this half man, half snake. You know, you got people being mutilated, ripped apart. You know, you got the scene in the pharmacy where the bum is talking, having an argument with a pharmacist, and he wishes for the Wishmaster that he got cancer, and he had all these cancer effects, like foam coming out of his mouth, and all this swelling, and all these great little effects. You know, like the party massacre at Robert Englund's party when he wished to have a party just like the old ages to be talked about forever. Wishmaster grants his wish, and again, people being ripped apart, real people being set on fire with real fire. You know, tentacles, you know, coming out of Robert Englund's mouth. And statues made out of stone coming out to life and stabbing people. And there was a scene where he got a mace and, you know, shoved it into that guy's face, and his face was all fucked up. Great effects. I don't know what the fuck people's problem was with this movie. So I disagree with people when they said the acting was bad, and I disagree with people saying that the effects were bad. I disagree with nearly everything that was said that was wrong with this movie. I thought it was very creative, and it was a making of a great horror icon. I admit Wishmaster isn't up there with Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers and Chucky and all those other kind of things, but he was up there. Many people may not remember the Wishmaster, but if you're a die-hard horror fanatic like myself, you'll know who the Wishmaster is. And Andrew Devoff played him great. So I take my hats off to Andrew Devoff for playing the Djinn. In my opinion, he's the only actor who can play the Djinn. It was his role, his character. He brought it to life great. And even when he was in human form, he still looked scary. He had that unique voice. Alexandra, be careful what you wish for. You know, he pulled everything off great. The way he spoke, the way he looked, the way he moved, everything. I mean, like I say, you get a little intro at the start where all those people are being killed. The guy wishes for, makes a wish, and the Djinn gets trapped inside the little gem. And the film skips to the far future. The gem's stuck in the statue. This guy who's been drinking on the job fucks up the controls, he spills his coffee, and the crate comes crashing down onto this guy below, killing him. And some arsehole steals the jewel that came at the statue that was going to be delivered to Robert Englund to his party. And he takes it to be examined to see how much the gem's worth. Anyway, Alexandra Anderson works at this place where the gem's being took. She's examining it. She breathes on it, she rubs it, awakening the Djinn inside the gem. And then when she leaves it overnight, the guy in the lab has an accident with the lab exploding, with the Djinn being released. And he wishes for the pain to stop, and so the Djinn kills him. That's one thing about the Djinn. The creative ones, the fact that he twists wishes. So you could wish for certain pain to stop, he kills you. So he's an evil genie, basically. And I think that's a great idea for a horror character. You know, an evil genie, granting people wishes, twisting them around, and on granting of the third wish, him and his ancestors can take over the earth, basically. So he's got to grant all three wishes to a certain individual. And he wants the person who woke him to grant the three wishes, which of course was Alexandra. So now the Djinn is on one big mission to track down Alexandra, grant her three wishes, so him and his ancestors can take over the whole earth, basically. But he collects souls in the meantime, you know, meeting people along the way, granting them wishes and taking their souls, you know, in return. Little do they know that he's evil and he does them sort of things. There's a scene where he goes to the morgue, puts a guy's fat skin on his face, making him look like the Andrew Divoff look. But the guy, he asked the guy, who saw him doing this in the morgue, saying, "Is this something that you not wish to see?" And he fucks up his eyes, making his eyes get sealed shut. There's a scene where he goes shopping for clothes, and the woman who fancies him behind the counter says she wishes to be beautiful forever. She turns into like this ornament, this statue, so she'll stay beautiful forever. And from then on, it's just one big gore fest, like one big adventure to track down Alexandra, make her grant her 3 wishes, basically. He manages to track down Alexandra by going to see her boss. I mean, that's where he encounters Kaynarder first, the security guard. He says he wished to love to see that the Wishmaster will go through him. So he turns him into glass, and Wishmaster walks straight through him, thus shattering into pieces like little bits of broken bottle, basically. The boss says he wishes for $1 million, in return to tell him where Alexandra lives. He grants the wish for his mother to die on the plane, and he gets $1 million in return. I mean, I ramble on a bit about what I'm giving away in the movie, but take my word for it when I say that this movie has it all in a gore movie. A horror movie, basically. The gore's there, the acting's there, the special effects are there. The kind of effects that you'd be expecting from a 1997 movie. I mean, all your leading horror icon roles, your actors, they're all in it. Robert Englund, Tony Todd, Kaynarder, all there. And they're all there in one big movie, so you can't really complain. I mean, when he finally encounters Alexandra, he shows his true form, the Djinn look. Now, my opinion on the look of the Djinn, I love the costume. He's got this big bodysuit on. He's got moving snakes in his hair, and he's got his dark red eyes. And you can tell it's Andrew Divoff all over while he's speaking and moving his mouth, like Andrew Divoff beyond this costume. And I think it was a great look for an evil genie. The look of him was great. The design, they did a fantastic job trying to design the Djinn up to its greatest level, and they did just that. Alexandra's first wish was to wish to know who he was, so he took her in a world beyond, showing her who he truly is. And one thing leads to another, and she ends up going to Robert Englund's party to warn him. He encounters Tony Todd, who's a security guard, and I love this scene where they're threatening one another. So he says, "Do you wish to escape?" And he goes, "Yeah." And so he ends up ending up in a straitjacket inside a fucking water tank, suffocating basically. So he kills him off. So a lot of these wishes you don't see him coming, but you wonder how he's going to twist these wishes around, which he eventually does. But Robert Englund then wishes for a party like the old ages, while Alexandra's in there, and everyone around he gets mutilated and killed. The violinist, gets the violin end into his mouth. Statues coming alive, stabbing people. People getting set on real fire at this party. Just people's guts flying everywhere, and all these bodies being mutilated. And cool little horror film. I mean, you just go into a little bit of background of Alexandra about how her parents died in the fire and that she saved her sister, but her parents died. And before the Djinn can kill the sister, she makes her wish to say, "I wish that guy wasn't drinking on the job on the day of the accident." And so then the Djinn has no choice but to grant her wish, and then everything goes back to the way it was before that guy was killed, just before the Djinn was released. So he's back in this crystal, he's back in the statue, and everyone that was killed is now back alive again. So it was like as if the whole thing never happened. But then again, it was a smart move. She outsmarted the genie. The genie is now trapped back in his, back in his normal self, just waiting to be released again. And it shows you the Djinn one last time, just waiting to be released, and then the credits roll. So it was clearly stating that this is the beginning of something big, basically. Because it was clearly telling the viewers that there's going to be a sequel. You know, despite the negative reviews, and I don't think they knew it was going to get panned this much, but I still think it's ridiculous. I mean, I think it's all there in a horror movie. I thought the acting was there, the effects were there. You know, it was nice to see this movie on Blu-ray, especially the first movie. It brings the effects more realistic, especially the first one, the first Wishmaster movie. Now, briefly discussing Wishmaster 2, 3 and 4. 2 was a major step down. I'm like, 3 I really disliked. And people are going to think I'm crazy for saying this, but number 4, The Prophecy Fulfilled, I liked. But that's another video review for another day. I'll discuss why I like that movie in a different video. But then again, that's my full review on the first Wishmaster movie of 1997. Fantastic movie. It's just a shame the Wishmaster never reached it to the high levels like Freddy Krueger. But Andrew Divoff did a great job. It's his role. I don't think that role belongs to any other character other than him. He had his reason, I suppose, for not appearing as him in 3 and 4. But again, that's another video for another day. All there in a horror movie. If you're a die-hard horror fanatic, please check out the first Wishmaster movie in 1997. You will not be disappointed. I don't think it's one of those movies that will disappoint any horror fan, basically. I highly recommend it. So, I'll just state a few more facts before I go off. Its running time is 90 minutes, so it's not on too long. The official release date in 1997 was September 19th. And produced by Wes Craven, believe it or not, and directed by Robert Kurtzman. I've already gave you a brief introduction, like, about who stars in this movie. Yes, which has 3 sequels. And I've already explained about the critical response. It was panned by critics, which I highly disagree on. So, there you go, everyone. Please like, rate, and comment, and give me your thoughts on the first Wishmaster movie. I'd love to hear what you think. Peace out.